Hello and welcome to another update video about Cardano. In this video we're going to take a look at the Cardano chart and also the Bitcoin chart. We're going to take a look at ADABTC and also we take a look at some of the sort of on-chain metrics for Cardano. Let's start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin obviously dropped in a basically, in my opinion here, in a five-way move. So if we just take the where were they again here? We take the Elliott Wave counts here. We could say that it was a 1, 2 retracement. This was a 3, 4, and a 5. Now what you could now get potentially something like an ABC. So for example, from here we could get an A, a B, and a C before we then carry on further down. That is one possibility that I talked about, because this is really looking like a small downtrend that is beginning here. However, so far we found support here at the at that former resistance line, now support of that channel within which we have been trading, which is quite good. So I did say before, if we drop below this level of around 59k, I think, you know, then we could really get back in, then we will get back into this channel. What gives me hope is certainly that the 20-day moving average is coming up here and will certainly provide some support here at currently at around 57.6k. So I just said that this retracement is taking a little bit longer than you would normally expect it to do. From that low there to that high here, you can see that we're actually coming down currently. Well, we're coming down to the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement level of 60.5k. So finding support there, but it's taking a moment here. And yeah, we came down here in this five-way move, I would argue. So yeah, currently finding support there. So that could be an A, B, C correction, I said, and then we could continue our way down, but we're currently finding support here. So it remains to be seen if that is going to play out like that. It's certainly a risky area here now. I mean, it determines really where we are heading next in terms of for the whole crypto market, you know, in the next few weeks and months. But what we can see, as long as Bitcoin is holding in this area, then altcoins seem to be profiting, you know, at the moment. So as I said, I don't think we've seen the high yet of this year. I don't think we have seen the peak of the bull run yet. I think that is still to come, but it remains to be seen. I think if we drop below 59k, we get back into this channel, could see some further price drops, even down to this support level of that channel of around 56k. I think, and that wouldn't even be, let's call it that bearish, because this is what we've seen with various cryptocurrencies, that they are actually trading in some sort of a channel based on an ascending trend line. What we see is Bitcoin has just outperformed them all at the moment, or a lot of them, whereas a lot of them are still just sort of in this channel or working their way up on an ascending trend line, and Bitcoin has just overshot them. So it could be that we drop back in and just trade along. So it wouldn't be that bearish. It's just a scenario always to be aware of, that we could drop back into these patterns, you know. So however, looking okay still at the moment, we seem to be finding support here. The RSI on the daily has dropped quite a bit, allowing us to potentially continue our move up. It might drop a little bit further, but we are still in the bullish range on the daily, so I'm not too worried about that. MACD is making a little bit of a sell signal here. So again, we were quite high, we were very high. I did talk about retracements coming, and this is a retracement at the moment. I mean, it's a sideways move at the moment, a little bit of a retracement. 0.5 Fibonacci at the moment providing support. So it is it's looking okay still at the moment, even though we dropped below the former all-time high, which we obviously couldn't hold. So there's a bit of fighting going on between the bulls and the bears, and at the moment I expect some further consolidation. I think we need to bring the RSI further down. The MACD was at an extraordinarily high level on the daily, so that is why we're currently making this bearish cross here on the daily, which generally could be considered as a sell signal, but bear in mind, this is always only one indicator. But we were at such a high level. Getting from here to 100k is, I think, not really easily possible anyway. So we have to bring the MACD down. For that, we have to have some retracement and some sideways move, and that's not a problem. That gives the altcoins the chance to catch up. But let's continue with Cardano. Cardano again moving sideways, and I won't spend too much time on it because we covered it all yesterday. In my last update, I spoke about why I'm still so bullish on Cardano, on the Cardano chart, and I won't repeat it all. Based on Elliott Waves, I think we are still in a major wave 3 to the upside, and we just need to complete this sideways consolidation, and it means we could even come down once more to that level here, 180 or so, before we move up. And again, that wouldn't be a massive problem. We would find support on the 200-day moving average, and from here we could move up to my price target of at least 440, 450. However, you know, we're just moving sideways, still in the triangle, and really getting closer and closer into this apex. And I've been saying throughout the week, 25th, 26th is pretty much where that apex really is. I did expect breakouts before they happened, but they were fake outs. So, you know, it's just to be patient. Hopefully these videos help you a little bit to remain patient. I know it's hard, but it's a long-term game. Crypto is a marathon. I'm in there for the long term, and you know, it's up to you if you are or not, but I think it's worth because of all the profits that people with diamond hands can expect. Now, ADABTC, I did say yesterday that I expect that it looked a bit like we found the bottom here, we found a low here, and yeah, it looked a bit like an inverse head and shoulders here. I think we tried to break through already, which is what I said in the last video, that I would expect a breakout here where we tried it, failed, didn't really see a lot of volume, but certainly a little increase, but I think maybe not enough to really go through there at the moment. However, if we take a look at the possible price target for that, we say that is the neckline. Actually, I think we actually broke through that neckline of that head and shoulders. So I think we broke it. We're currently retesting it. That's how it looks like actually. Add it to the top. Then we could get close, not quite there yet, but we could get close to the former support, now resistance line of that ascending trend line. If you remember, if I zoom out, that ascending trend line has really been providing support for ADABTC for a while. But this is the first time really since the beginning of the year that we dropped below that line. So it is difficult. We need to get back in there to continue our way up compared to Bitcoin. So I think we need to get through that level now, 3560. And it's looking like we could get through there because we are currently moving up in this breakout build-up pattern, ascending triangle, making higher lows. Sellers can't really push the price away anymore. And if that breakout happens here, I think we can then go to that resistance former support line, that main one. We need to get back above that trend line, which would then allow us to get above the 20-day moving average. Maybe ideally 200. From here we could continue our move to the upside. Maybe that was trend reversal. Since basically for the last 4 to 5 weeks, we haven't seen such a increase anymore. There was one here, but that was not that long, I think, or it came close at least. But before that, the last time that happened was from the 20th of September. So yeah, it would be good to continue that, get to that trend line. I think it is possible, you know, based on the indicators. The RSI is still showing space to the upside. Also on the ADX, we have a buy signal. And the MACD has also crossed the zero line. I did say that yesterday, so I'm confident we could continue our way here to the upside. And important is that resistance level. If we don't get there, we could drop to that support level down here, which would again be a continuation of that downward move. But overall, I think it's looking good. We should really be able to continue our move to the upside here. And if we fail, it won't be long because the alt season is really on its way. It's coming. Wanted to emphasize that we are continuing to stake more and more ADA to 72.16%. I think that is more than even in the last video when I made my update here about how many. We also have more stake addresses being created. So decentralization is continuing. And also what I wanted to emphasize here is that more and more people are now in the money again. Yeah, so in my last video, I updated you on people in the money, out of the money, which means basically in the money is you are in profit, out of the money is basically you made a loss. A lot of people, when they're in a loss, they are holding, they're waiting to break even when the price goes up again, which then holds the price down, because when these break-even points are reached, people are selling basically at key resistance levels, which then makes it harder for the price to get through. Now in my last update video, we had around over 800k addresses, I think, were out of the money. Now this has dropped to, I think, around 700k. So this is going down. It just emphasizes that, you know, while we had a bit of a price increase in the last few days, People sold, obviously, led to a dump again in price, but at least if less and less people are getting out of the money, that will make it easier for the price to catch up and get higher again, because less people will be there to sell and try to break even when the price is going up. You can even see that here on the chart here, just shows in red people out of the money, in green people in the money. And this is probably not the best graph to take a look at. I think there's a bit more detailed one. Let me see if I find that. All right, so you can actually see here that I think in my last update video was around this time here. We had around 734. I think it might have even been here with 800k addresses. I remember that number out of the money. Then in the last few days we had this huge price drop down to 180. That was probably used by some people to really do some selling. So we had a pump and a dump. So that pump was probably used to sell some of their coins. And now we only have around 616k addresses out of the money, which means around 100k, even more than 100k, 160, 170k of addresses sold their coins, which means that yeah, these were bought up by buyers, and these people who sold obviously now are not in the game anymore, and maybe they bought back cheaper. I don't know if that was manipulation or what, but definitely it makes it easier for the price to go up the less addresses are out of the money, because there are less people to sell at break-even points. So just wanted to emphasize that really. So more and more people staking, and people continue to stake, which probably also prevents the price to drop massively. And you know, you have more and more people being in the money again, which is good basically, because people who were out of the money were selling when we were getting higher here, probably to nearly 230 in the last few days. So that is good. That will allow the price to continue to go up more easily, but there are still around 600k of addresses out of the money. So I expect some further resistances as we climb to these key resistance levels going further. And we mentioned them in previous videos. Next key one is here, the 230, 232 range. That is what we need to get through in the first instance. If we continue to climb up, and you know, we really should. It's time to catch up. We tried it a few times. Every time Cardano tried to catch up, Bitcoin made a dump. Really sounded a bit, looked a bit strange. It happened now a few times, and this is really annoying. But we are going to get there, pretty sure. So all of you have a great day, and let me know if you think a pump will happen on the weekend. Let me know in the comments. As I said, there will be a live stream for channel members on Sunday. Don't forget about that. And if you want to participate, maybe you want to consider the channel membership to support the channel as well. Thanks a lot for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.